It was my first time going to the hospital, but from what I heard, it wasn't far from school. My mom had told me where it was. A big, easy DC road went there, straight there. I went past the shopping street, made a turn. It wasn't overly hard to spot the sign with IRA Clinic ran on it. There was one other person, an older man, there in the air-conditioned waiting room. I went up to the counter and told him it was my first time here. The man behind the counter glanced at the clock and said there would be a short wait. It was almost 5. Clinic hours would be ending soon. As I sat in this unfamiliar waiting room, isolated from everyone, let myself feel the cool air, I actually felt relieved. What should I tell the doctor when he comes? I could tell him I had a cold, but I was the very picture of health. Actually, I wanted him to check my head. I wanted someone to confirm for me whether I was really sane or not. Keiichi Maebara-san, please come into the examination room. Huh? The voice from the other side of the examination curtain. I thought I heard it somewhere before. Hello. This is the first time we've seen each other here. Coach? Coach! You are a doctor? Now that you mention it, he did seem to know his way around when he was looking at my shoulder in the nurse's office. It would make sense if he was actually a doctor. Come to think of it, our teacher called him Irei-sensei, didn't she? Well, yes, I'm more or less a doctor here. Doctors have it really good, you know. Yeah, they get paid a lot. You get to see and touch all that young, silky, smooth skin. I could inject them with a weird chemical that would make them my slaves and have them become my personal maid star. Thank you very much. Seeing that made my cold go away. I'll be leaving now. Polite bow. Whoa, wait. Maebara-san! A joke! It was a joke! Come sit down and let me take a look at you. I'll need to use my stethoscope, so show me your silky smooth chest, Maebara-san. For some reason, I felt really relieved. After that insane night, as much as I thought everything had gone crazy, Coach was here doing the same thing he's always did, be a creep. I was very happy for that. You don't seem to have a cold. Actually, those scrapes and cuts all over you seem to be the painful thing. Don't tell me you were playing in the bushes with short sleeves and shorts. I mean, I can't say for sure you hadn't been infected with tetanus. As I was chasing that man last night, I kept being scraped by bits of trees. I didn't realize I had so many cuts. You went a little too crazy at the festival yesterday. Enjoy that while you're young. And once again, I apparently went to the festival. Coach, did you go too? To the festival? Yes, of course I did. I may be a doctor, but I'm also on the Watanagashi Executive Committee. Did you see me there? This coach was the same coach I've always known, and I felt like I trust him more than any of my weird friends, so I asked. Well, actually, I was drinking the main tent with the chairman and the others the whole time. I didn't go out to see the festival at all. I don't think I saw you. Oh. That was a strange question. Did you have too much to drink and forget about what happened last night? Underage too? You bad child. Coach let out a laugh. He didn't laugh in a natural way like me and Rena did. Coach was okay. He was the coach from the world I knew. He wasn't someone from this abnormal world. Well, this all might seem a little weird to you, but I want you to hear me out without laughing. Yes, go ahead. I greatly welcome any shy, bashful worries you might have as you come into your secondary sex characteristics star. Could it be possible that I have an identical twin? Coach hadn't expected that question at all, and couldn't say anything for a moment. But then he smiled calmly and quietly answered, "This is all just superstition, but I heard before that everyone has 2 other people in the world who look just like them. If there was, I'd certainly like to meet him, though." Also, there are plenty of fairy tales where a person's double appears. German ones are about doppelgangers, are probably the most famous. Doppelgangers? Yes. They look exactly like another person. And apparently, they herald misfortune, and if you meet one, you're sure to die soon. I think that's how it went. When you meet them, you're sure? You die soon? The story ended directly in death. Plain and simple. And it made my spine tinkle. Why did I say twinkle? Coach wasn't saying it to scare me, though. He was offering a casual anecdote, but that made it feel all the more real. Have you ever heard of one of those things showing up in Himizawa? What? Well, I can't say I have. Coach must have thought he was being teased, so he laughed in an exaggerated way. But when I didn't smile along with him, his laughter steadily grew fainter. I'm sorry, well, I was sort of being serious. No, I apologize for laughing. Was there something you were worried about? I wonder if I should tell him. Then, after resolving myself one final time, I slowly spoke. I didn't go to the festival yesterday. Is that right? Well, there will be one next year. And then you can... That's not what I meant! I didn't go to the festival, but according to everyone else, I was there. Could that even be possible? After blinking his eyes in amazement, Coach thought seriously about what I was trying to say. And then he answered, choosing his words carefully. Let me make sure I have this straight. Maebara-kun, you went to the Tatarigoroshi festival, but don't remember it. Am I right? I was trying to say something completely different, but I suppose any sane person will come to that conclusion. That night, Keiichi Maebara was actually at the festival, but saying I was saying that I didn't go. That obviously meant my memories of going there had failed me. But that was absolutely impossible. That vivid act I committed during the downpour could have possibly been an illusion. All these scrapes on my body prove it, and so is the fact the bat was in my locker. No, that's not it, Coach. I really didn't go to the festival. Please don't take offense, Maebara-san. Have you ever had an experience where you were suddenly somewhere unfamiliar, and you couldn't remember why? No. I didn't lose my memories or anything. Because while the festival was going on, I was definitely doing something else. It wasn't like I was asleep or unconscious or anything. You're certain you were doing something else? I know I'm being awfully rude, but are you sure you're not mistaken? I know I'm not! My memories are clear as day, and they were real! During the festival, you weren't at the shrine, and you were doing something somewhere else. Can you definitely prove that? That's right. Thinking it through brought me to this. There was only one way to prove that I actually was at the festival yesterday, and that was show that there was no doubt that I killed their uncle. Coach saw me struggling to answer, and his eyes looked a little cold. I guess they would. After all, from Coach's perspective, I was just a weirdo sputtering nonsense. Would you like to lay down? Maybe you should relax and take it easy for a bit. Sorry. I didn't really come here to lay down. You seem to be a little worked up. Why don't I give you a sedative that'll let you sleep for a little bit? That way... I'm not being strange! Coach seemed to realize he was treating me like a deviant, and he raised his voice. I apologize if I offended you, so please, calm down. I definitely didn't go to the festival. That's the truth! I understand, so please, calm down and take a deep breath. No, you don't understand at all! Coach was stunned, and stared in stupefaction. I do understand, Maebara-san. You didn't go to the festival yesterday. Is that right? I believe you. I believe you. Coach jotted down a brief note in his records. He was writing in German, so that his patient wouldn't know what it said. But I could make a good guess as to what he wrote. You won't believe me until I tell you everything I was doing that time, will you? No, I believe you. Please, sit down. Before I sat, I tilted my head back a little. The blood in my face all drained out, and I quieted down. After taking a deep breath, I made sure I was calm now. It would have been impossible for me to be at the festival, because at the time I was. Should I tell him or not? I really didn't want to go on living like this, feeling this horrible. And I said them, the final, fatal words. Because I was killing Satoko's uncle at the time. I could smell the concrete in the room. I could feel the air around us sharpen. Nobody moved. Only the sound of the clock ticking told us time hadn't stopped. With his mouth wide open, Coach even forgot to blink for a little while. You killed Satoko-chan's uncle? Yeah. It's fine now, Keiichi Maebara. Don't hesitate. Admit it. With all your strength. Yes. Last night, I did it. I killed him. I spoke clearly and fluidly. I could easily tell that Coach's mind had gone completely blank. Why would you... No! That was a foolish question. I believed it was the most direct method of saving Satoko, so I carried it out. I don't have any regrets. I see. Coach smiled thinly and nodded a bit. So I could have been at the festival. I left the brightness of my house for the darkness of the outside. After that, I dug holes, made phone calls. I had my hands full. And then I attacked him, killed him, and buried him. It was pouring hard at the time. The festival started that evening, but it was suspended due to rain. There was no gaps in my memories. From the late afternoon until it started to rain, there was no doubt for me to have possibly gone to the festival. There was no time for me to have possibly gone to the festival. And those wounds, are they from that? Yes. There's a road through the forest near Satoko's house. I attacked him there. He ran, but I chased him. Finally killed him near the road that leads to town. Is that true? Killing your uncle. It wasn't some wild fantasy? I could tell that Coach didn't believe me. So I spoke slowly, not letting myself grow excited. It's true. I killed him with Satoshi's bat. I threw it and Uncle's motorbike into the swamp. I dug a hole, killed him, and buried him. I did it all by myself. Satoko-chan's uncle drove past you on a motorbike, did he? Then you predicted he would do that and just waited? I assumed he wouldn't be leaving the house that night. That day. So I lied to him over the phone to get him out. You called him? But your house is so far away from Satoko-chan's. I wouldn't think you'd be able to make it there so soon after calling him. I used the phone closer to where I was going to attack him, the one at school. But Maebara-san, it was Sunday. Wouldn't the school have been locked up? A forest ranger happened to go inside for a bit. I slipped in while I had the chance. After that, Coach grilled me on a few different things regarding the incident. He made sure to question me carefully, looking for any contradictions in my account. I'll believe you. What you did yesterday doesn't seem like a dream. I explained everything, including minor details that only someone who actually committed the act could explain. I could, of course. It was only yesterday. Coach realized that my story had no expedited coincidence or too convenient details that would exist in a daydream or a delusion. It finally seemed to want to believe me. So, do you think I still went to the festival and lost my memory? Coach slowly shook his head. But everyone in class, they said I was at the festival yesterday. Is that even possible? No, it's not. Your classmates probably mistook you for someone else who looked very similar. Then, given how group psychology works, everyone just assumed you'd been at the festival. They could have mistaken me. Beyond all the rest said they were spending time with Keiichi Maebara. It was much more than just having mistaken someone else for me. But saying that out loud, we're just confused, Coach. He spoke to me in whispered tones. Do you feel guilty at all? It didn't sound like he was criticizing me. And even if he had, I would have flatly said the same thing. I don't. I did so that I could return to that I did so that I could return the peaceful days that he's stolen from us. So I plan to forget all about having killed him and live my life as usual. Once Satoko's regular Sono returns, the one from before he showed up, everything will finally be over. Any chance that someone witnessed the crime? I don't think so. If someone had seen me, I would have been arrested already. I am a doctor. My job is to save lives. So I cannot take any statements to the effect of condoning the taking of someone else's life. So instead, I'll say this. I butchered that line. I am so sorry, I butchered that line. Hold up, I'm gonna reread that real quick. I am a doctor. My job is to save lives. So I cannot make any statements to the effect of condoning the taking of another's life. So instead, I'll say this. Coach slowly rose and placed a hand on my shoulder. For saving Satoko-chan, I thank you. Coach's eyes started shedding warm tears. When I looked at him, I started to feel some tears of my own. I didn't know what I was crying for. And so, for a little while, the two men in the room fought back their tears. But it's strange. What is? I'm sure I killed him, and yet he seems to have returned home alive. Coach's expression had immediately sharpened. Depending on the situation, there are many ways that the mere unconscious can look like real death to a lay person. Do you think it's possible he was just knocked out? I didn't check for a pulse, but I'm pretty sure I did him in. May I ask to reproduce the situation in which you attacked him, Maebara-san? Coach rolled up a Health and Fitness Week poster nearby and offered it to me to represent the bat. Though I may have been lost to the motions of the beast that night, I remember in detail the number of times I swung the bat, the angles I swung from, and the force I applied. Using Coach as a standard for the uncle, I reproduced them over one by one. And when he tripped and fell, I bashed him in the top of the head like this. When I did, it felt different from the other strikes. I thought I cracked his skull. Coach was calmly analyzing this information, using the places I struck and the situation at hand to find out what state the uncle's body had been in. I wasn't totally sure he was dead, so I hit him a few more times after he fell. Did he react at all? At first, I sort of felt his body jolting with every hit, but eventually that stopped too, and he didn't react at all. Coach folded his arms and said, a few times. And then he spoke. He's dead. There's not much doubt about it. He didn't just look like he was. I can't say very much just from your story, Maebara-san, but I think it's almost certain. Besides, you buried the corpse in the mud. And that took you quite a bit of time, right? Let's say it took you 30 minutes. That would mean he was buried under the muddy water for those 30 minutes. If you don't breathe for that long, your brain will die no matter what. You mean, even ignoring how hard I hit him, he would have definitely died while I was burying him? That's right. It's impossible to stay alive buried underground for 30 minutes. Impossible? You're right. But Satoko, she says he's alive! Coach, a doctor, just gave a stamp of approval that he was dead for sure. That made it seem all the more unfair that he could still be among the living. Maebara-san, this is a really horrible idea, but is it possible that the person you killed wasn't actually her uncle? Huh? He's right. That could be why it cleared up the inconsistency of my definitely having killed someone, but him still being alive. There's no way! I mean, we were both at Satoko's house when she was bringing his alcohol inside, and there was a man who stuck his face out the window to look. It was him, right? That was Satoko's uncle, right? Yes, you're not wrong. He was that man. Could she have more than one uncle or something? Not one that I ever heard of. It's just him. Could you tell me what he looks like? Well, his height first. He was about 175 centimeters, maybe a little taller. In order to eliminate the worst possibility that I killed someone else, Coach began to thoroughly compare what the man in his mind looked like with what I told him the person I killed looked like. But no matter how in-depth my description went, none of the characteristics differed. The uncle's traits, according to the Coach, were all exactly the same persons I killed. But those traits were all extremely vague, and they weren't particularly distinct at a glance. Could you... well... is there anything else about him that would let us identify him for sure? Now that you mentioned it, I've never seen it, but... I believe Satoko-chan once said a long time ago that he had a tattoo of... a tiger or something on his back. A tattoo? That was really important. Not everyone had a tattoo. If I found a tiger tattoo on the back of the man's corpse, it would be proof I killed the right one. At the moment, though, there was one other thing that would verify this. To go to Satoko's house and see for myself the uncle that had returned home despite having died. But that was far more terrifying than digging up the body and looking at his back. Without even looking at the tattoo, I knew for sure the one I killed had been Satoko's uncle. I cracked his head open and killed him. And yet, he'd gone back home. There wasn't any misunderstanding or even the shadow of doubt in my mind about having killed him. And yet, it was impossible for him to exist. Kind of like how Keiichi Maebara had been at the festival, despite it being impossible. A small commonality made me feel as though a fate was a bizarre force for permitting this insane Himizawa. I wonder, what on earth could have happened? Despite you not going to the festival and killing Satoko-chan's uncle, you were at the festival, and the uncle you killed is alive. None of this makes any sense. When I look at everything that way, it's almost as like I'm having a nightmare, and there's no killer at all. But it's the truth. The sensation I use my own hands in the bat to bash him again and again, it was no illusion or dream. Coach let out a slow sigh. Then, after looking at the clock, got up. Let's go over this a little more seriously. If you'll excuse me, I'll put on some tea. The clinic's about to close after all. I need to let the other employees leave. Coach stood up and went out into the hallway, leaving me alone. The clock was about to strike 6. I was at the festival, and the uncle I killed was alive. Had I really committed murder yesterday? The only whisper of a fact that proved it happened was the absence of that bat from Soshi's locker. In any case, I was glad that Coach had taken my nonsense seriously. I just confessed to murder. Normally that would frighten a person away. But Coach didn't run. He cried with me. I was glad he did. Like so, my tension smoothly melted away, and I suddenly realized I really had to urinate. I thought to use the restroom while Coach had stepped out. There was one across the waiting room. There was one across from the waiting room, yeah. As soon as I left the room, I saw Coach and 2 male doctors wearing white clothing standing in the shadows of a hallway nearby. I didn't particularly intend to eavesdrop or anything, but I was quite surprised upon noticing how easy they seemed. I hid behind the wall and quietly listened in. It seemed like Coach was giving directions to the 2 doctors. Black tea? I'll make some. Mix in some enobarbitol or ravinol. Cover the taste with milk and sugar. You may grow suspicious of the sudden onset of drowsiness. It's possible that you might get agitated and become violent. We will handle that. How many male staff are still here? 1 mountain dog, including us 3. What? What was all this? I think I was already agitated, despite what Coach said. Was that it? Was it just a casual conversation? It was only sounding unbelievable to me. Coach said he would bring some black tea and left the room. And then, in the shadows, he was telling his subordinates to put some kind of sleeping powder in the tea? Plus, they were getting extra help, in case I thought the sudden sleepiness was suspicious and started getting violent? Hey, wait, Keiichi Maebara! Calm down, calm down! There's no way something this stupid could be happening. I mean, he was genuinely listening to my story. He even cried with me. I thought he was the one person he was on who would understand. This was... There are signs of fabrications or falsehoods, and his memories of yesterday in particular are completely confused. He can no longer tell truth from falsehood. It's quite similar to multiple personality disorder. But as far for how quickly this mental disorder emerged, it's just not normal. Maybe it's inborn, or perhaps there were signs of it before he moved here. I'd like to take a look at any records of him staying at a mental hospital before he moved here. In any case, I want him to take a quiet nap. The two doctors nodded deeply. I should probably contact Maebara-kun's parents too. Though I can't think of what to tell them. Please find his home phone number for me. My eyes, still moist, began to shed tears once more. This was too cruel. I really thought he had actually understood. He had believed what I told him. But now, from the other side of that wall, he was only treating me like a crazy person. I believed you. I believed you. I had let down my guard because I thought you were the only ally I had left after that insane night. Plus, that says, because though you were the only ally. It should be because I thought you were the only ally. Oh, gosh. There was one letter that you... There's one letter, Manga Gamer! One letter! Come on! Was that a lie? All that? About thanking me on Satoko's behalf? Were you just pretending in order to keep me plus-aided? Ugh! My tears fell to the floor in frustration. I was an idiot. I was such an idiot for believing that bastard! I heard footsteps approaching the doctors. A man in a dress shirt with no tie came running up. Dr. Ari! It's terrible! They found Takano-san! Takano-san? Wait, where? Oh well! Apparently they discovered her burned corpse in the mountain of Gifu! She's dead? Takano-san? The men, all surprised, exchanged glances. Dead? Takano-san? Hey, wait. So then, does that mean when I cursed her, wishing for her death, that wish was granted? What do you mean, burned corpse? Was it an accident? According to the Gifu police statement, the possibility is extremely high that she was murdered. As I cried, I laughed quietly. Serves you right. Serves you right. If I hadn't run into that woman, my murder would have been perfect. But she just had to come drumming up to me and try to coerce me like that. I regretted not having killed her on the spot. But no, she was dead anyway. My curse, my wish for her demise, it was fulfilled. Serves you right. Serves you right! Risa-san died too, and Takano-san died. Oh, wait. Oh. Is that Ari or the other guy? I'm gonna read it as the other guy. What on earth could be happening in Himizawa? Don't tell me that this was all Hoshiro's was cursed for this year. Like hell would the curse be real, Coach said. Everyone present just nodded as Coach cursed at no one in particular. Yes, maybe it wasn't Hoshiro-sama, but this was definitely a spell of curse. I wish for her to die. So she did! If this wasn't just a coincidence, and she died because I wished for it, then you'll die next, Coach. You betrayed me. You pretended to believe me, but deep down you thought I was a madman. You looked down on me with all that pity in your eyes. For now, get the black tea ready. I'll bring it inside. I don't think he would let anyone besides me be alone with him. Shit! What do I do? What do I do, Keiichi Maebara? This time I heard the voice of a nurse. Dr. RB? Oh, there you are. Your phone call. I'm a little busy at the moment, so please tell them I'll call back. Who's it from? Miss Oishi from Okamiya Police Department. Ah, shh. Bad timing. Alright, I'll answer it. Coach left to go to answer the phone. The other men headed towards the room with the teapot to make the black tea, like Coach had ordered them to. Fortunately, Coach having to take that phone call meant there would be extra time for me to act. I had to decide what to do now. Would I let him make me drink the sedative-infused tea? Or be held down and thrown into a mental hospital? Nothing would come from starting a brawl here. They had more people anyway, and they were all bigger than me. If it came to a fight, I didn't stand a chance in hell. If I could have went against them, there's only one thing left to do. Run. Adrenaline suddenly rushed into my brain and my body. Started to move with keen instinct like it had on that night. My surface temperature quickly cooled, and the transmission routes between my cells enlarged. Using a 360-degree visual information, I searched for escape route. I would open the window behind me. Outside was a parking lot. There was no cars. A little beyond, there was a bicycle I had taken to get to here. I determined that this would be the quickest method of escape. I approached the window swiftly, but with little sound, to raise as little suspicion as I could. With the speed and silence of a shadow, like I had been on that night I chased her uncle. I unlocked the window and opened it up. A cool evening breeze wafted in. I stuck my head out and looked over the parking lot again. Nobody in sight. No need to hesitate. I quietly crawled outside and closed the window behind me. I held my breath and listened carefully. Nobody seemed to realize I'd run. I looked around. Then I jumped onto my bicycle and zoomed away. The pedals clattered under the force. Had my bike always creaked like this? Did the pedals always whine when I pushed down on them? My bike wasn't the only one crying though. My tears fell as the wind cut through them. They rode the breeze and scattered behind me. Ugh. I hate this. I hate this. I'm not the crazy one. Himizawa is. How? How dare you treat me like a madman? Die! Die! Just fucking die already! I believed you! I believed you! Ah! I got into the hospital in order to escape Rena and Mion's invitation. But the reality that was waiting for me had been too cruel. Who was insane? Me or Himizawa? Or was the answer something else? I started having trouble breathing. I didn't have any clue what was happening anymore. The loud chirps of Higurashi were irritating me. Were even the Himizawa Higurashi I knew so well calling into the wind? No. That wasn't quite it. They weren't calling. They were crying. The pain wailing as I was lost in some kind of rhythm in another world. No longer to be able to return to their own sunlight. I didn't do all that to end up in a world like that. And actually, about this time, I might have been having fun with everyone else. Satoko would have gotten her smile back after realizing her uncle wouldn't ever come home. And she might have shown it to us at our first club meeting in a while. That wasn't the kind of world. That was the kind of world. That was the kind of world. That was the kind of world I wished for. So, what is this? Why did I end up in such a strange, ghastly world? Someone I killed was living like normal, and I enjoyed myself at the festival despite not being there. My anger. My angry Keiichi came out. I don't want it. I don't want this strange world. When did it start to go wrong? When? When? No matter how much I thought about it, I never understood. I rose swiftly and returned to my home. It had begun to rain during my journey back, and just like yesterday, I was now soaked. But I didn't care about something so trivial right now. The pain I felt in my heart, that coach, the one I trusted, was acting so cruelly. It was far worse. Did I have no allies in Himizawa anymore? with the naive thought that I at least wanted my parents to side with me, I stepped up to the front door. Wait, Keiichi, it'll be dark soon. There's something you want to check, right? Yes. I want to dig up the man's corpse and get a look at his back. There was a tiger tattoo there. I would know beyond a doubt he was Satoko's uncle. That long night wouldn't end until I was certain. If this insane world was all reparation, all divine punishment, then I need to make certain whether I had been successful enough to even deserve to pay that price. I went to the storage room again and got the shovel. It had been washed in the rain, but the paint was peeling, making it look unsightly. I never, ever wanted to touch this thing again. The sensation of it in my hands was totally different from the night before. There was a ruthless coldness about it. Yeah, it will be dark soon, so I need to take the lantern too. There'll be a little bit of light from the street lights, but it would get extremely dark. I thought I put the lantern in here, but suddenly I noticed it wasn't anywhere to be found. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Of course, on that night, I hadn't brought the lantern back with me. I left it at the place I buried the body. If I didn't get it soon, it would get very dark. And then, not only would I be unable to find the spot I buried the corpse, I wouldn't even be able to find the lantern itself. That happened. It was all over. I need to hurry. In order to fit the shovel in the basket in front of my bike, I need to twist it and disassemble it. But it looked like there was dirt in the joints, and no matter how hard I push, it didn't want to come apart. After a strenuous effort, I realized I couldn't get it apart, so I decided to hold it in one hand and ride my bike with the other. With the downpour soaking me through, and a shovel in one hand, and riding one-handed, it was as if I returned to that night. No, return was the wrong word. It was more like the night had never ended. The pain of the rain just striking me were no different from then. The thing that was different seems all. The world and nothing else. The rain clouds were already making it dark, and now it was about time for the sun to set. I could tell it would only get rapidly darker. The straight road leading to town, in the middle of it, that should be where I buried it. Yes. It was near that streetlight. On that night, too, the water from the downpour was splashing down from the streetlight's overhang like a waterfall. The pouring rain was exactly the same as it had been that night, and thoughts, it brought my memories into focus. I threw my bike in the brush and stepped into the forest, the ground already soaked with mud. Where did I bury him? Think. The darkness, the shadows, the water, the mud. Everything was the same. Think! And then, I spotted the lantern by a fallen, moss-covered tree. That's right. I left it right there. If I left the lantern here, then I would have buried him over there. Here. The sensation of standing in the sludge. My feet remembered the spot better than my eyes did. I plunged my shovel to the ground. Sorry. It wasn't here. I just dug it up, so it should have been softer. I stick my shovel down in a few spots, just what they feel like. One of them clearly felt deeper. I recalled where the lantern was, where the trees and things in relation to each other, and knew that it had to be here. Under here slept that man's corpse. There would definitely be the tattoo of a tiger on his back. But if it wasn't there, then I had made a horrible mistake and killed someone completely unrelated instead. I would be more dazed at the fact that Satoko's uncle wasn't dead, and then I would have regret having gotten someone else mixed up in this. If this insane world was punishment for the sin of committing murder, I wouldn't be able to accept it until I killed Satoko's uncle for good. And then, without any fear, I attacked him again. And that time, I'll kill him for sure. But what? If the tattoo was there? That would mean I killed Satoko's uncle. But that would be so terribly strange. If I killed him for sure, then who was this uncle? at Satoko's house at this very moment. Impossible. I didn't even know anymore what I was using the word impossible to refer to. I used the word quite a few times today. If I had to make the words impossible fit into one thing, what would it be? That much was obvious to me. It would be impossible for this crazy world to be real. I shouted, then turned behind me. There was nobody there, of course. It hadn't been bothering me for a while, but those footsteps had followed me this entire day. Even just now, an extra set of footsteps had splashed behind me. No one was actually there. No indications of anyone even. But they were there. Who are you? You've been following me ever since I came into this world. That's right. Thinking about it, the first time I heard those footsteps was after Takuro-san and I parted. Those footsteps were my welcome into this strange inside-out world. No one could be there. I get no response. Whoever it was, he just kept staring at me. It wasn't ominous, just unpleasant. After staring into empty space for a bit, as I bathed in the rain, my illogical anger slipped away. My tension loosened. An entire feeling reared its head. I tasted this feeling that night too. The sudden exhaustion I felt as the tension of my brain loosened. My vision quickly narrowed. I felt like everything around me had suddenly gotten darker. I couldn't give in to this sensation. I like what little explosives were left in my brain and forced myself to keep going. I needed to take that man up before my stamina ran out. I needed to see that tattoo on his back. I caught my suddenly ragged breath and calmed down. Then I stuck my shovel into the soft, muddy ground again. It felt exactly the same as that night. The sense of digging a hole in the beach with water coming into it with every wave. What day was today? Had I gone back to the night with Tatarigoroshi? Every strange thought that came to my mind tormented me. Given my exhaustion, I didn't think I could manage to hold those thoughts back. Once the hole was deep, and all illumination finally faded, blanketing my vision in jet black. It was probably the moment the sun had fully set too. That night, I had feared the worst, and gone without using much light. My senses were so strained that I could even see in that darkness. But now, I didn't have that kind of strength left. I drained everything I had last night, and now the darkness would be lethal. I decided to turn on the lantern. Putting it on the first setting would give off a faint light. Even with how little there was, it was enough, and people wouldn't be able to see it from far away in this rain. I grabbed a chill lantern, turned the dial with a click, set it to the weakest light setting, and turned it on. An uncanny world of silhouettes appeared before me. A complex and strange shadowy world, created by the intricate entanglement of trees and branches. I'd only turned on a light, and it was like that all it took to make this world into something else. So I let out a quick, tired breath, wiped the liquid, neither rain or sweat from my brow. Then I raised my shovel into the air and slammed it into the mud. That moment, the silhouettes surrounding me solidly all moved at once. It's in my head, something back in there, something coarse but not hot or cold, was loudly rushing about. The silhouettes were all around me, looking down at me. And one of them, a silhouette bigger than the others, stepped forward. Oh shit! Oh! Oh no! Oh my god. Good evening. The moon sure is beautiful tonight. The coarseness of my brain shot through my whole spine and left me at my waist. The strength of my body all left me through my hips, and I crouched down with a splash into the sea of mud I dug in myself. Wishi. Is that really how you dress your elders? You will have a rough time once you become an adult. It wasn't only Wishi, but 5 or 6 of them in a row, men wearing raincoats. I had no inkling that this many people had gotten so close. It was like, once I turned on the lantern, it just appeared there, sliding out of the shadows. Please, don't mind us. Just think of us as trees in the forest, perhaps. Don't mind them? Yes. Pay no attention to us. Please, continue digging your hole. It's very late. It rained very hard. And you're working pretty fervently. We won't get in your way. Please, dig to your heart's content. No, thank you, I said. When I tried to get up and turn around, 2 men blocked that route. They stood on either side of me and lifted me up with amazing strength that threw me into the sea of mud. As I soaked the mud back I had dug for myself, I looked up at the silhouettes looking down at me. Oishi squatted, picked up my shovel, and threw up my feet for me. It bounced loudly off the mud and hit me in the face. Come, please, continue. Continue. I couldn't bear the presence of the silhouette surrounding me, and slowly, I stuck the shovel into the mud again. I felt like I was digging my own grave. If I kept digging, it wouldn't matter whether there was a tattoo or not, because that man's corpse would appear eventually. It was all over, surrounded on all sides, nowhere to go. But I just couldn't figure it out, no matter how much I thought about it. Why were they here? Was it Takano-san? There was only one person who could have made the connection between me and this place. Shit! I knew it! She deserved to die! Stopping so soon? Ah! Bam. Oishi kicked me in the back, which took me by surprise, sending me flying into the mud. Hurry up and dig, please. You really should consider the fact that some of us are standing out here in the rain. Fuck you. If you don't like the rain, then just go home. Gah! Oishi kicked some mud into my face. Work, please, instead of talking. Only people from the red light district do both at once. Isn't that right, boys? The men around him didn't react, not knowing quite whether they should laugh, but when Oishi glared at them, he started mumbling out pained chuckles. Just who? Who was this guy? I knew the world had changed after that night. But if I went even further back, didn't it start when this guy showed up? That was when our peaceful days had been taken from us. Ever since he showed up in Hinizawa, things had been odd. Everyone stopped smiling, and the world went crazy. The ground under my feet gradually got harder and heavier. At this point, even I started to think something was odd. I hadn't buried him that night, had I? My exhaustion peaked, and I sat down on the spot. How long do you want me to dig? Kids these days have no stamina. Hey, you. At Oishi's gesture, the men pulled out their own sinister-looking shovels. As I watched a daze, one of them grabbed my collar, dragged me out of the hole, and threw me into the ground. The rest of the men stepped into the hole. I dug, and started shoveling themselves. As I stared at them, dumbfounded, Oishi sauntered over, and squatted and looked at me directly. Keiichi Maebara-san, is this a hobby of yours? Digging holes on rainy nights? When I didn't respond, Oishi took one of the thin buckets they were using to bail out the muddy water, scooped some of it, and splashed the whole thing in my face. The rain's heavy today, too. No matter how wet I get, I don't understand the appeal. Oishi smiled to himself, and scooped another bucket full of muddy water. I'll ask you again. Is digging holes on rainy nights your hobby? Who the hell would have a hobby like that? Splash. Oishi hit me with another bucket full of muddy water. The pebbles in it stung. This is police brutality! Oh my god. Will there be something in that hole? I've always liked that story, you know, about the old man who can make plants bloom, and the puppy digging his yard for gold. As he spoke, he ran the bucket through the muddy water again, to splash in my face again. What kind of treasure is buried down there, huh? Can't you at least give me a hint? If you want to know, then dig on your own time. You fucking pig. I wasn't saying that out loud, but I wish he mercilessly dredged me muddy water again anyway. Shit. If only you hadn't showed up, the world would have gone wrong. Ever since you showed up, things have been strange. Satoko got abused by her uncle, I ended up killing him, and the world went crazy. And He was how it all began. Because of this culprit. He splashed another bucket of mud in my face. My insides were seething with anger. Die. You die too! If I had some strange power to kill someone by cursing them like what Takuro said, then you're dead! And it won't be Orishiro-sama's curse. It'll be mine. I will curse you and kill you. What a rebellious look you're wearing. Why don't we use this opportunity to teach you a thing or two in that regard? We really do live in peace these days. When I was about your age, corporal punishment was a norm for everything. Oishi-san. One of the game men in raincoats wiped some sweat off and called Oishi over. Oishi tossed the bucket away, then turned around with an evil grin on his face. Yes? What is it? Please, look at this. Acceptance. Or maybe resignation. I wanted to say to them, so your blockheads finally found it. Yeah. That's right, I'm the one who killed him. But you're the police, so it's your job to figure out who he is, right? Come on. Prove to me that he's really Satoko's uncle. What on earth? We think it's all a drain pipe. It seems to be connected to the irrigation channel over there. Let's smash the thing. It's not being used, is it? The men all exchanged glances, then hesitantly broached another topic. Oishi-san, the ground down here is pretty hard. I don't think anything could be deeper than this. Did we get the location wrong? No. At first, it definitely felt like the place had been dug up before. But after digging so far, the ground is suddenly hardened. We think we got down further than the hole that was originally dug. So, what does that mean? There's a hole here and someone filled it back up? Is that what you're trying to tell me? What? What were they talking about? Well, I'm at a loss. Aren't you, Maebara-san? Oishi grabbed my collar and dragged me to the huge hole they dug. The bottom side was like an ocean, and I couldn't see any drain pipe down there. One of the men stirred it with a shovel, letting me hear it clang against something hard. There was no doubt I buried him right here. But I hadn't buried him this deep. I didn't dig deep enough to unearth an entire drain pipe. So, then, this man, his corpse, where was it? Proof that I'd been successful on that night was gone. Gone. Then, what on earth was I? Was I actually crazy after all? And just possessed by the delusion that I killed someone? That couldn't be. It was unmistakable truth. It could have been a hallucination. But now, the most important evidence that had of an illusion was gone. I killed him. I buried him. I was unwavering confidence in that fact. Then, did I fail to kill him? After I left here, and he started breathing again and crawled out, and gone back to Satoko's house? Was that it? I had come here to see whether he had a tattoo or not. And yet, the truth on earth was far more than that. Yesterday, what was I? I killed him. I buried him! There was no doubt! But for some reason he lived and crawled back out. And that was impossible too! I'm so tired of hearing the word impossible over and over. I get it. Dead people don't like to play by the rules here in Himizawa. Then I'll kill you as many times as I need to. I'll keep killing you until you never show your face up to Satoko again. Oishi and the others were muttering to each other. Eventually, their conversation ended, and Oishi came towards me. What did you want to say? What did you want to do? I stiffened, tensing up, and then Oishi just ignored me like I wasn't even there, and passed right by me. The other men, too, they ignored me and shuffled away. Eventually, there was no longer a sign that anyone was around. I returned to my quiet world of silhouettes. The only one left here was me. Only the sound of pouring rain filled up the silence. Did Keiichi kill the uncle? Or is he insane? We'll find out. After these tips. Okay, we will find out after these tips and next time. I gotta read these tips. I didn't know there was tips actually. That was a long part of the chapter. Wow, okay, here we go. Inquiry requests. Here we go. Okamiya Police Station, Command Center, transmission recording. June 20th, 8:08 p.m. This is Okamiya Security Police. We read you loud and clear. Hello. We'd like you to look up a license plate for us. XXXXXX. XXXX? Alright. Please give us just a moment to look it up. Thank you. Number match. XXXXX. Owner. Address. Himuzawa Village, Shishimon. Vehicle make and model. Death reports, none. Special mentions, nothing of note. Okamiya Security Police Station to Oishi. We found the license plates from earlier. Oishi, do you read? Oishi, please respond. Am I getting a bad signal? Anyone in Oishi's car, please read. Nothing, eh? Oishi said what a license plate check? Whose car was it? Someone from the village. A completely average car. Who was it? If Oishi was asking, then it can't be anyone good, right? The special mention column is completely blank. No indication it's related to the S group either. And no temperaments on it. Maybe he passed him on the road and he got mad. That guy isn't the type to forget a grudge. Oh no! Did Keiichi actually... Oh my gosh, Keiichi get Oishi killed too? Record mouse. He said it smelled. He said the food smelled. He said it smelled because I smelled. He said I smelled because I don't take baths. He said I take a bath 3 times a day because I was a smelly person. He said I stay in the bath for a long time every time. He must be possessed by something too. This is the same thing the man who died said. Why does he know what that man said before? That much is obvious. The same thing that possessed that man is not possessing him. Can't a sudden earthquake make a big hole in front of the house? If it did, he would definitely go and look into it. And then I just have to push him in. I won't give in until I get that chance. I won't give in. I won't cry. I won't give in. I won't cry. Someone's apologizing again. Wait. Was that Satoko? Wait, was that from Satoko's point of view? Oh my, oh. Was that actually Satoko's point of view? That makes slight sense. Oh my. Wow. So that was the end of chapter 11 of Higurashi when they got into Tatarigoroshi. This is one of the longer games of the series, and probably one of the more interesting parts of the series because it shows more to Keiichi's character and more to Sato's character with that tip right there. Like, that showed a little bit of a different side than I imagined Satoko in the anime, but we didn't really get her point of view in the anime, so that makes a lot of sense. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll figure out how this story ends next time. I think there's only like 1 or 2 chapters left for Higurashi when they go out to Tatarigoroshi, and they're going to be quite the intense final chapters to this chapter of Higurashi when they cry. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. I'll see you all next time.